Hey, yo everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing my comic poll list for the past 2 weeks, as well as news, updates, questions, and answers, and everything that falls in between. Yeah, sorry it's been like a 2 week gap in between each video. It's just, well, two things. One, of course, time. Time is money, and I don't have much time. And two, my internet is horrible here. Comcast is horrible. I wish I wasn't forced to use Comcast, but I have to. I'd rather use Verizon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this video up, go to my parents' house, and upload it there. So, anyways, that's enough about my internet and how sucky it is. Let's talk about comic books because that's what we came here for. We're going to start where we always start, with a little bit of Batman in our life, with Detective Comics issue number 32. Continuing the Icarus story arc, Batman and Harvey Bullock are both on the same case, finding exactly where this drug came from, who murdered this young woman, and in addition to that, both of them are at each other's throats while trying to solve the case. And all their detective know-how and all their evidence lead them to one person, the Squid. Yeah, the Squid. Can Batman and Harvey Bullock work together to figure out this case and, put this woman's murderers into jail? Or will, unfortunately, they be at odds ends and everything slip through the cracks? Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good. I mean, the art is fantastic. That's one of the drawing points of this. And I really, really, really do like how strongly well done Harvey Bullock is. I mean, this is a character that has been in the Batman mythos since the 80s, roughly. And well, he's always been used. He's always been kind of a background character. There hasn't been too many big Harvey Bullock moments. Although my favorite Harvey Bullock moment was from No Man's Land after the earthquake, and he had like a steel rod through his arm. And he just pulls it out and kept on working. Pretty badass. But this kind of shows a different side of Bullock. We even see him in his apartment, and he has a lot of cats, and I can respect that. But we get to see more of Bullock, which is good. We get to see a little bit softer side of Batman, and kind of an homage of sorts to the Batman animated series when he goes and fights the Squid. Bad, none. This is a solid issue through and through, 5 out of 5. I have to put it on the floor there because there is a lot of issues. Batman Eternal, issue 9 and 10. So I'm going to talk more about 10 than 9. 9 was okay. It was Batman working with the Batman in Japan. 10 is a little bit more interesting because it has Falcone in it. We get to learn a little bit more of what's going on with Falcone, and we also get to learn that there is a manipulator through the shadows, and we've kind of known this from issue 1, but a little throwback to Batman Year One too, with Catwoman and Falcone. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good. Professor Pig being in this, creepy as all hell, especially with his farm helpers. Oh God, that's like Jeff Lemire, Animal Man kind of creepy. So Professor Pig was creepily done, and the art for that was good. Um, in addition to that, I like the conflict between Batman, Catwoman, and Falcone, and I like how there is someone through the shadows manipulating things. Which I said this before. I'm pretty sure it's Hush because Scott Snyder in an interview said that Hush would be coming back in 2014 in a big way. What bigger way than in Batman Eternal? Bad. The art for issue number 10 for Jason Todd just felt a little weird. Batman looked a little skinny. It was great for the horror aspect of Professor Pig, but everything else it kind of felt weird. And Jason Todd's place is just weird. Hey Bruce, what's up? Barbara Gordon's acting pretty weird. Her father is in jail and she might cause some trouble. Oh, screw that shit. I'm not gonna help her. Oh, but she's going to South America. Really? South America? Now I'm interested. Random. The two together gets a 4 out of 5. Solid stuff. Batman Eternal, enjoying this series. Batgirl issue number 32. So this is more of Batgirl having to deal with Nightfall, but not just Nightfall, also dealing with some of her close personal enemies that she's had in the past. Some friends from the past too that have become enemies, and her love life is in more and more turmoil. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. good. Gail Simone really knows how to write dialogue and really knows how to write the character itself. Barbara Gordon is just such dynamic to her and personal trauma and well, not well, yeah, there is personal trauma, but there's just so much personality oozing off this character, and it's Gail Simone's writing. Taking something so simple as her boyfriend, who started way back, and continuing him on, and slow burn with this relationship and exactly where it's going. The art is, I like the art. A lot of people don't like the art, but what I like about the art is it displays emotions very well. It's good for superhero art, but also for real life art. I like how Barbara Gordon isn't a supermodel outside of the suit. She looks like a typical 20-year-old woman. I mean, that's good. That's a talent to have in comic books where everyone looks like they're drop dead 10 out of 10 supermodels or bodybuilders. Again, that's a great quality to have. The pacing was well done. I mean, the dialogue was spot on, like I said. Bad, none. Nightfall started off as kind of an iffy character for me, but she burned on me pretty well, and this issue was great. 5 out of 5. I really do like it. And I know a lot of people may not like the Batgirl comic because it's much more of a personal comic, but um, it's really fun. Batwing issue number 32. Boy, am I pissed that this comic's coming to an end. Basically, Batwing goes out to save his sister and may have to reveal something to someone to do so. And that's the basic gist. It had good action, good dialogue, a little bit fast for my pace. Paste. Pace. Taste. There we go. A little fast pace for my taste. But it was still a good issue. Nothing to write home for. That's why I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. Again, felt a little too quick, but the action was pretty fun. Birds of Prey issue number 32. Now, this is another comic that's getting canceled that I'm saying, why is this getting canceled? This was a solid, fun issue. Basically, Black Canary is dealing with her husband, obviously not back up to par to what he was, and even changed a little since his big comatose near death experience and having the Lazarus Pit ooh goo in his system. Yeah, you know what? Lazarus Pit, this it's better just to stay away from that shit. You never know what's gonna happen with it. Anyways, um, so Mother Eve basically asks them to help save someone, and they get in conflict with the Suicide Squad. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Much like Batgirl, it's more of the personal stuff in this that make it fun. The team as a whole, the dynamic that they bring. Was Black Canary and Condor, Black Canary and Barbara, or if it strikes with Barbara. I mean, it doesn't matter. The team is just so well balanced and handled in this. I like using Mother Eve as a character to kind of bring the team together to do missions, and of course, I'm interested to see what happens with the Suicide Squad. Bad, I can't really say much bad. I mean, it's sad that this comic's coming to an end. I say pick it up if you've been reading the series, or if you want to. This is kind of a little bit of a jumping on point. But I mean, the comic series is going to end, so that's kind of a pooper. Uh, Chrissy Marks has really been doing a great job with this team and has been one of my favorite runs for Birds of Prey. So pick it up. 4.5 out of 5. Batman 66 meets Green Hornet issue 1 of 6. Yeah, this is I've been waiting for this, whether it's listening to Fat Man on Batman or Hollywood Babylon. It's just a comic that I've been waiting for. And look at the comic cover by Alex Ross. Basically, this is a spin-off of the Batman 66 episode where they had the crossover with Green Hornet and Batman. It's kind of a sequel of sorts, or follow-up of sorts. And basic gist is Batman and Green Hornet meet on train to stop a villain. That's the basic gist. But in classic Batman 66 fashion, with the ongoing series, this isn't part of the ongoing series, so kind of a side title. But I mean, if I can't really give a particular rating for this. If you're a fan of the Batman 66 show, or if you're just a fan of all interpretations of Batman, pick it up. This is pure solid gold. If you're not into the campy Batman, you probably won't like it, but it is still gold. Kevin Smith and Ralph Garman really outdid themselves with this. And listen to the Fat Man on Batman podcast number 66, which they read from the comic. And Ralph Garman can do like 90 voices, so he does Adam West voice pretty well, and it's hilarious and it's great. So yeah, pick it up if you're a fan. Yeah, I mean, if you're not a fan, still pick it up. Who knows? You might get intrigued. Swamp Thing issue number 32. So the King of the Sea. He's not really the king of the sea, but Swamp Thing is finding out that there's a big, massive algae in the ocean. This is why Aquaman kind of beat the shit out of him. And because of which, Swamp Thing has to take care of this. But where did this algae come from? We learn quickly that Swamp Thing's actions in disbanding the Parliament may have not been necessarily a good idea. And of course, his friends might just turn into his enemies. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. I do like the whole thing about the Parliament and getting rid of the Parliament might have been a bad idea because there would be repercussions. In addition to that, the pacing of the story was very well done, and I did like seeing Aquaman in this. The downside is the Aquaman Swamp Thing crossover. I mean, where's it going to go from here? This kind of feels like the end, and it's only 2 issues. I hope that it's see more Aquaman and Swamp Thing teaming up together in the next 2 issues or 1 issue of each of their respective series. It just felt, I don't know, Aquaman was underutilized, for lack of a better term. But yeah, solid issue, 4 out of 5. Pick it up. Constantine issue number 15. This issue I'm going to give a 3 out of 5. Constantine goes to, I think it's Japan, meet up with his luck mage to gain her help against the Order of the Cold Flame. And she wants the Moonblade that he has, but unfortunately, like a wand from Harry Potter, she can't use the Moonblade if she didn't earn it like Constantine did. But Constantine has to go up against a woman with powerful luck magic, intensified luck. What reference was that from? Intensified Luck Soldiers. So basically, he has to go up against her. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good, I do like this Luck Mage. I think she's a cool design, and I thought she was introduced very well. Constantine is a badass as always, and the minor stuff from with the Cold Flame is kind of burning slowly in the background. Bad, I felt as though nothing was really accomplished from this. He's Ghost of Mage, and then, well, try not to spoil it, but I mean, we may not see this woman again. We may not. But yeah, I felt as though this was kind of a more of a transition issue than anything. Not much of the plot was pushed other than the background. 3 out of 5. Constantine, I still love you. Phantom Stranger, issue number 20. A title that's getting canceled that I'm pissed it is because this title I was so hard on. Phantom Stranger, not hard in a bad way, hard in a good way. But Phantom Stranger started off as, I'll give it a shot, we'll see what happens. And the changes they made, whether it's DeMatteis or if it's Dan DiDio, whoever, were for the best, and it became one of the most compelling comics in the DC, which unfortunately just didn't get as much as a following. Basically, in this, the Spectre and Phantom Stranger have to work together against the Sin Eater and Non to stop the dimensional rifts that are destroying the world. The only bad about this issue is I didn't care for the ending with the Sin Eater. Compassion was kind of showed by the Phantom Stranger, where he really didn't need to show compassion. He showed compassion against Sin Eater in a way, and Sin Eater does not need compassion. However, I love Sin Eater as a villain and Non too, so I'm curious to see how this comic is going to end. But yeah, it is a good issue, 4.5 out of 5. Captain America, issue number 21. Captain America versus the Iron Nail. This is the conclusion to the story arc that has been continuously going on. It feels like it's been forever since the last Captain America issue. It is what you think it is. It's a big slugfest. Captain America struggling against all odds, save the world, yada yada yada. Hang in there, kids. It's almost Friday kind of stuff. Solid issue through and through. 4 out of 5. It's a little status quo. Felt a little this has been done before kind of thing. But besides that, solid issue through and through. Pick it up. Good action scenes too. And how can you not love Captain America? He's kind of a badass. Tiny Titans Return to the Treehouse, issue number 1. Now, I have not read the Titans or Tiny Titans before, but I figured this is a good place to start. This is adorable and fun. Pick it up. That's all you need to know. The Titans lose their treehouse, which is their home base. That's all you need to know. Pick it up. If you want something to kind of detox you from the seriousness of all the comics in the world, pick it up. Pick it up. Doc Savage, The Man Made of Bronze, or The Man of Bronze. Is this the last issue? I don't think it is. But I know this series is not going into a continuous ongoing. Is issue number 7, I think, is the last one because it actually stops at 2014. Basically, Doc Savage has to deal with a new threat to the world. What is that threat, you ask? Computer viruses and the interwebs. Yes. Doc Savage has to go up against his most threatening villain, a villain that he can't see or punch. He has to use this. That's not a problem for Doc Savage. Um, Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good, art is good, dialogue's good, the plot on a whole is good. Bad is, I know what they're trying to do with Doc Savage. I would like a little bit more of a cohesive, continuous story than one that kind of a long-term jumping from point A to point B in, this last century. But yeah, Doc Savage, 3.5 out of 5. It's a solid issue. If you haven't jumped on by now, you probably shouldn't have jumped on. You probably shouldn't jump on now. But it's not that hard to get issues 1 through 5. So if you want something that's kind of a fun little side story, pick it up. I haven't been overwhelmed by Doc Savage, which is a disappointment because this is a series that I kind of wanted to get on. I wanted it to be a full reboot. They're trying to be very cautious, for lack of a better term, because they don't want to step on anyone's toes. But yeah. Scott Snyder's The Wake. This right here is going to get a 4 out of 5. Continuing the story, solid pacing, big events happen. I don't know what it is though. I kind of lost a little interest in the comic. It's a good comic. Don't get me wrong, and I love Scott Snyder, but I don't know. I think it's lost its momentum with the once it jumped over to the future. Probably because there's a lot of stuff going on that I just hasn't grabbed my interest, especially with the Flying Fortress people. But yeah, 4 out of 5. Sorry if I'm speed rounding this, but I think it's the best way to deal with things. Infinity Man and the Forever People, issue number 1. This is a comic I was really excited for because it is all based off Jack Kirby's Fourth World characters. And I figured this is a great chance for them to reintroduce some of the Fourth World elements and kind of do it fresh. Because I like the Fourth World. Who doesn't? It's just so Silver Age, and in a good way. And of course, Dan DiDio and Keith Giffen are on it. They kind of take all the comics that people don't want, and this might be one of them. But this again is a comic that I was looking forward to. Good about it is fun art, good paced story. It's intriguing. Bad is and also good is you kind of get to know the personalities of these characters really well. Remember that, the personalities. Bad is I don't know any of the names of the character. I know all the personalities of the characters, but I don't know the names yet. So I know that sounds silly, but I feel as though you should know the names of the characters within the first issue. And I don't really know what's going on with the story. It's intriguing, but I kind of want to know where it's going. But besides that, this is still a fun comic that I'm pleased with. Infinity Man didn't show up in the first issue, though. Kind of weird. But this is going to get a 4 out of 5. Pick it up. If you're into Jack Kirby stuff, pick it up. New comic that came out, Blood Queen issue number 1. This is a new Dynamite series that I know nothing about. I don't know if it was a previous series or if it's based off a movie or a TV show. The great thing is I don't give a fuck. I kind of wanted to just try something new, and it looks very sword and sorcery D&D like. So I said, let's give it a shot. Basically, you have it's a woman right here who is a healer that is a healer whom is summoned by the court to heal the princess, the daughter of the king, and in doing so, she looks to earn the favor of the court and get a position. Will she be able to do it? Will she be able to nuzzle herself in? What are her true agendas? You're just gonna have to read and see. I'm gonna give this actually a 5 out of 5. Oh, a 4 point. No, I will give it a 5 out of 5. Intriguing story, interesting characters, good art. The only complaint I have, and it's not going to take any points off, that's why I'm keeping it at 5 out of 5, is the backgrounds could have been a little bit better, especially more or less inside the castle. But what I like about this is the unexpectedness of the story. I have no idea where it's going, and that's a great thing. With comics, they're kind of predictable. With this one, it's not. If you want sword and sorcery kind of stuff, pick it up. It's an issue #1. It has no connection to anything else. You can't go wrong. Angel and Faith, issue #3. Angel continues to try to track down some pixies while working with, I forget her name, the crazy Slayer, the Slayer who clearly lost her mind with magic. In addition to that, Faith is feeling out or figuring out that what's going on with her working with Kennedy is not working at all. Kennedy is kind of more in the gray area of slaying rather than the black and white. Um, this will get a 3.5 out of 5. I do like the story and the art. I just feel as though not Kennedy, Faith and Angel have been apart too long. They need to be working together. Plain, flat, and simple. And that's why I'm deducting so many points. Is although they're separate, and it's nice that we're doing separate stuff with them. We really need to see these two kind of together. Wolverine issue #8, 3 Months to Die. Yeah. Wolverine is going to die. I don't know if it's actually going to happen, but Wolverine's going to die. I doubt Wolverine's going to stay dead, if anything. But basically, Wolverine is trying to confront death. He goes to an island with Iron Fist and some other dude that I have no idea who this cat is. So I'm going to call him Shaquille O'Neal. So Shaquille O'Neal, Iron Fist, and Wolverine go to this island where Wolverine confronts death. While this is going on, Sabretooth is gathering his forces and becoming more and more powerful each day. Will Wolverine be able to gain the power and the ability he needs to take on Sabretooth, or will, unfortunately, Wolverine die? This was actually a much better issue than the last two. I felt as though the series kind of hit some roadblocks with the last two issues, but this was pretty solid. I liked him confronting death. I liked the art a lot better. I liked Iron Fist being in there with Shaquille O'Neal or whoever that guy's name is. And Sabretooth, I mean, he's overused a lot, or so I'm told, with Wolverine, but I did him here. So, solid 4 out of 5. A lot of 4s this week. Green Lantern Uprising, 4 of 6 and 3 of 6. So, Green Lantern and Green Lantern Corps, both issue #32s. This is awesome. Just pick it up. That's all you need to know. A lot of Green Lantern characters showing this, of course. The war continues to go. The pacing is great. Uprising is really, really a fun story arc. Pick it up. That's all you need to know. G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, issue #203. It's funny because this cover has nothing to do with what happens inside. Dr. Mindbender does not show up at all. Some good stuff with Destro in this, and Zartan, and called Cobra Commander. But the Joe stuff is kind of boring. It's kind of funny about this comic because I enjoy the Cobra stuff more than the Joe stuff. I feel as though the Joes just talk too much. It's too much planning and talking, and Duke sitting on his high horse and kind of just telling people what to do. The ninjas need to come back, and there needs to be Joe versus Cobra. It's too much Joe versus terrorists and Cobra versus themselves. So 2.5 out of no 3 out of 5. It was a fun issue, but again, I don't like the pacing of where the comic's going. Vampirella, issue #1. This comic's getting relaunched. I have all the other comic issues back at my comic store in my box. I just didn't feel like picking them up. Basically, I decided, hey, Vampirella, people love her. I want to see why people love her. I'll give her a shot. Good stuff about this is good action, some mystery and suspense, and the art is well handled, and Vampirella has a decent voice to her. Bad, and the reason why I'm going to be deducting points is this is not new reader friendly. Uh, I mean, I understood what was going on, but it wasn't new reader friendly. Like, they were roughing stuff in the past. Villains, like, they'd be like, I forget the villains' names, but let's just say, oh no, it must be John Cena. And then you kind of think, like, who's this John Cena? I wish it was that. I wish I didn't know who John Cena was. But it's more or less like, why should I care about this person? You're making them out to be like a big badass, and I know nothing about them. So this will get a 3.5 out of 5. Solid issue with the story and with the action and with the suspense and the dialogue, but it's definitely not new reader friendly. I'm going to keep giving it a shot, but Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 1.2, Learn to Crawl, continuing the story arc. I didn't know it was going to be continuing as a story arc, but Clash, is it? I don't know. The kid that is the Spider-Man groupie, the one that loves Spider-Man so much, hires him to do a video to put on YouTube. What's this cat's name? Clash, that's his name. So he kind of hires Spider-Man to help him out with some stuff, and Spider-Man and Flash kind of get into a disagreement, and he blames Flash for something that really didn't happen. Kind of like all that shit. This comic just feels as though it doesn't know what kind of story it wants to tell. The good stuff is I think it's cool that they're using an older art style, and they're trying. Keyword is trying to incorporate current technology into it. But the bad is that, like, I don't know what's happening with this Clash kid. Did he want to put a video on YouTube? Does he want people to think he's fighting Spider-Man? He idolizes Spider-Man. Why would he want to fight Spider-Man? Kind of confusing kind of thing. The Flash stuff just felt random and unnecessary, and I doubt Aunt May knows who Spider-Man is. Um, 3 out of 5. I like the ongoing stuff with Spider-Man more. The learning to crawl stuff, I don't have too much interest in. Nice concept, but I mean, I really don't want to go to the past per se, unless they rebooted the series. But yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue number 34. Someone making an appearance in this issue. I think we know who. Uh, yeah, the Turtles are kind of just trying to gather their wits because the Technodrome and Shredder are the two big problems on hand. And the Turtles have to find out a way to take them on. A lot of action in this issue. It's really a very Donatello and April O'Neil and Angel heavy issue, which is good because I think Donatello out of all the turtles probably gets least screen time. But yeah, pick it up. Solid issue. 4 out of 5. I didn't give any bads. There wasn't any, but I would like to see some of the other turtles. Superboy issue number 32. Superboy is losing his mind. He's talking to alternate dimension versions of Superboy. Yeah, gotta get your head on straight, kid. Um, Basically, John is not really evil anymore. He doesn't know what he is. And while this is going on, he finds himself before himself becomes evil. Confusing? I know, it sounds confusing, but it's really not as confusing as it may think. The dialogue on this is spot on. The art is really good. I do like the art for this. I like how Superboy has a young teenage raggy kind of look to him. And I like the Cadmus team. Um, and John is growing on me as a character, although I do want Khan to come back. This I'm going to give a 5 out of 5. It was a solid issue. The series coming to an end. Hopefully, it comes to an end with Khan coming back because I miss Khan now. Action Comics issue number 32 and Superman and Wonder Woman issue number 9, continuing the Doom story arc. This is Enemy of the State issue number chapter 1 and 2. Superman is the enemy of the state because he now has a Doomsday virus in him, and the government decides to do some drastic measures to stop him, trying to kill Superman. But what happens when you kill the Superman, but the Doomsday is still there? Yeah, interesting kind of concept. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good. The foreshadowing in this is good. I think it's cool that they're bringing in the Brainiac elements in this, and Doomsday isn't the only thing going on. The inner turmoil is nice. The art and action and Superman and Wonder Woman, I think, was better than this one, but Action Comics, but it was still good. I like how the Ghost Soldiers are being used in this, and Steel is being used to a great degree also. Bad? None. I love Superman Doom. It's the comic and story that Superman needed. Pick these two up. Future's End, issue number 5 and 6. Boy, talk about a comic that I quickly lost interest in. Not much is happening in this that I care about. I mean, Tim Drake's talking to Lois Lane, and Mr. T is acting like a dick. Mr. T. Mr. Terrific. See, that just shows how much I lost interest. These are going to get 2.5s, both of them, because it's just, it's lost its momentum. Like, they play off Batman Beyond to be this big character in this, and he really hasn't done anything. I kind of like what's going on with Firestorm, but at the same time, I kind of don't care anymore. This needs to pick up momentum. 2.5 out of 5. Aquaman and the Others. Boy, this comic is starting to get a steam going, and I don't mean steampunk, but no, this is starting to get a lot of momentum. The Others find this brother and sister team that thinks that the Atlantean items belong to them, and this dude right here, which I will call Steampunk Master because I have no name for him, basically comes out in the end and challenges Aquaman. Solid dialogue in this, good action, and the plot is moving very well. Um, Granted, again, if you don't know much about the others, you might want to read the story arc, Aquaman and the Others, from the Aquaman series. But once you do, pick this up. This is a fun comic. And the great thing is it's not heavily tied to anything else. It's just doing its own thing, which I like. Green Arrow, boy, Green Arrow has a lot of shit going on right now. Richard Dragon has popped out of nowhere and is getting all these D-list villains to hunt down Green Arrow. And while this is going on, he has Diggle captive, and he is pissed and wants to take his vengeance out on Green Arrow. But is it Green Arrow that he really wants to take his vengeance out on? You just kind of have to read and see. Um, Good, Bad, Weather, Night should get it. This will get a 4.5 out of 5. Art, dialogue, I love the villains. I think it's Red Dart. That guy that was in that, oh, when they first I forget his name. The big, massive, hulking dude that was in one of the story arcs, and Killer Moth shows up in this. So I do like that. I like how they're using these D-list villains, which are fun. What is his name? That's going to bother me now. Let me see if I can pull it up. And I like Richard Dragon as a villain. Brick, that was his name. So I like Richard Villain as a Richard Dragon as a villain. As you can see, still a little tired. Yeah, solid issue. Pick it up. Liking what's going on with this comic. Really has turned around, and Green Arrow has quickly, with the TV show and the stuff that Jeff Lemire has been doing, has become a fan favorite for me. Huntress Power Girl, World's Finest. It's like the same tune every week. The dialogue's fun, the concept's fun, but I just don't. The story itself, I don't really care for. 3 out of 5. Earth 2, issue number 2. Everything about this issue was awesome. Pick it up. Whether it's Jimmy Olsen, whether it's Val, whether it's Batman, whether it's Green Lantern, pick it up. Everything about this was awesome. 5 out of 5. Last two comics, Justice League 3000. This is going to get a 5 out of 5 also. The story is progressing. It has a lot of twists and turns. I know a lot of people may not be into Justice League 3000, but it's really been a fun story through and through. Pick it up. And the last 5 out of 5, and the last comic we have this week, is Justice League United. Lobo versus Hawkman. How can you not love that? The only downside to, I mean, there's great Silver Ageness to this. Some great plot going on. The only thing that's a downside is Supergirl appears out of nowhere and has no purpose being there. But 5 out of 5, Justice League United, awesome. There we go. News updates. Aquaman has been casted. I forget the guy's name, but he was in Game of Thrones. I think he was in Conan the Barbarian, the remake. So Aquaman has been casted, and there's a tentative list of DC movies that go, and this is super rumors. Batman, Superman, Dawn of Justice, Sandman, Shazam, Justice League, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern Flash together, and then Man of Steel 2. Whether it's going to happen, we'll have to see. E3 happened, and a lot of good things happened for Nintendo, including the new Zelda coming out, which looks to be either a sequel to Wind Waker and Phantom Hourglass, based off its designs, or a sequel to Skyward Sword or such. Whatever the case may be, it looks awesome, and I am waiting so patiently for it. Hyrule Warriors, we learn, is also going to be not part of the main continuity of Zelda, which is interesting because they put a lot of Zelda elements in there, almost like a fourth timeline split. But yeah, so uh, we got to also see Mario Movie Maker, Game Maker, which is pretty cool. New Star Fox coming out. There was a lot of good stuff from Nintendo. Um, I didn't really watch much else of E3 because again, time. So I don't know how badly Xbox did or how good PS3 might have done. But all I know is Nintendo did a great job, and that makes me happy. It's a good time to own a Wii U, people. Pick one up. They're cheap. Um, what else in news and updates? I'm sure I had like a million of them, but again, I don't remember. uh, yeah, just to paint you guys a picture, like I've been so busy with work that my head has been spinning. Um, oh, I beat Metal Gear Solid 2 and I'm playing 3 right now. 2 was pretty fun. Better than a lot of people give it credit for. 3 is turning out to be pretty fun also. I'm also playing Mario Kart 8, which is awesome. Really great Mario Kart. Really great Mario Kart. I'm enjoying it more and more. It took everything that was good with 7 and just rolled with it. So, yeah. But yeah, let's just go into questions and answers, and then I have to get ready for Father's Day. So, questions and answers. Not many questions this time, but we'll throw at them. Nick Lenz, hey Andrew, 5 questions for you. First, can you think of one Batman villain that has not shown up in the New 52 yet? Yeah, Zeus Maximus. There you go. Or hasn't been seen in a while. Second, would you like to see a series of mine? A series of my excuse me. Would you like to see a series of mine series tie-in to Batman and Turtle to spread out to different storylines that are going on during the series? So, do I want to see series that branch out from Batman Eternal? Yeah, if the series is called Spoiler, absolutely. Um, I think Batman Eternal is going to be very self-contained for its story itself. Elements may branch out like Spoiler and Bluebird, which are two things that I think should get comics. Um, more female protagonists, but we'll have to see. I want more comics than storylines to come out of Batman Eternal. Third, where is the White Rabbit and the Mad Hatter? Probably in Arkham, where they usually are. Um, Again, I want to see more of the White Rabbit. I want to see her actually being used correctly. But fourth, do you think that it's odd that all of Batman's villains, that the Mad Hatter was the only Batman villain that did not get a one shot during the villain month? No, Clayface didn't get one. Killer Moth didn't get one. Lady Shiva didn't get one. Carmen Falcone didn't get one. I'm pulling at strings with Carmen Falcone. But I don't think it was odd. You're not going to get every Batman villain there. So, shit happens. But like I said, Clayface didn't get one. I mean, Clayface is pretty big. Did he not get one? Yeah, I don't think he did. So, Professor Pig didn't get one either. Dr. Hurt didn't get one. Although Dr. Hurt really hasn't showed up in the new 52, so it really doesn't matter. Um, so yeah. Did Scarecrow get one? I don't think Scarecrow got one either. Villain Month was so long ago, I don't even remember. Fifth, why is Killer Moth and Green Arrow? Because Killer Moth is, I don't know, they decided to move him to Green Arrow. It's not like it's a big fucking loss that he's not going to be in Batman. The redesign for Killer Moth is kind of cool, and why not put a D-lister in Green Arrow? It's not like he has many villains. I'm sure Batman can share the wealth. Um, Andrew, I disagree with you about Jason being the best Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. I think it's Billy, and I can't stand his send off. On the other hand, my favorite Ranger is Elisa Ariel from Wild Force, the White Wild Force Ranger. I have not watched Wild Force in a good 3 years, so I can't remember why. Also, Wild Force is my favorite season. So, my question for you are your top 5 Ranger seasons and your top 5 least favorites. As a response to you, I never said Jason was the best Mighty Morphin Ranger. I just said that Jason was a better leader than Tommy, and Tommy does not deserve the credit that he does. Um, the great thing about Mighty Morphin is there was no best at all. All of them contribute something, whether it's Billy contributing his brain, or whether it's Jason contributing his leader skills, or whether it's Zach and Trini contributing their emotional stability and their supportiveness. It doesn't matter. All the Rangers were good. It's hard to make a top 10 Rangers or anything like that. Never said Jason was the best Mighty Morphin Ranger. He's my favorite. I think he's definitely the best fighter of the Mighty Morphin Rangers and definitely the best leader, but that does not make him the best Ranger. I'm sure Billy has saved the day time and time again. They would have been screwed without Billy's brain. The great thing about Rangers is their team. No one Ranger is better than each other. That's one of the best lines that Tommy ever gave was when Jason came back as a Gold Ranger. He said, when I left the Rangers, it was a tough decision, but it was cool because I knew you would be there helping out the Rangers. But since I came back, I don't want you to think that I'm putting the Rangers back to the way it was. Tommy said, and a great example of what Rangers is about is that the Rangers are a team. No one person is better or more important than anyone else. That so I think you misunderstand what I said. I might have said Tommy wasn't a good leader, but that's about it. As for my favorite 5 Ranger series, Mighty Morphin is number one. Let's just say Mighty Morphin season 1, 2, and 3 together. Number one. Number two is Zeo. I love Zeo. Zeo was great. Number three is probably Dino Thunder. Dino Thunder was really fun. Then In Space and Lightspeed Rescue. Although Last Galaxy is up there too. My least favorites, I don't know if I have least favorites per se. I'm currently rewatching Turbo, and I'm realizing how bad it is. Turbo was pretty bad. Turbo, I didn't really care for Mystic Force. What's that? That's two. I didn't really watch all of Ninja Storm. I have to rewatch that. Um, Operation Overdrive was number three. RPM, and yeah, I can't think of a fourth one. Most Ranger seasons are good. Even Wild Force, I know you said you loved Wild Force. A lot of people don't, but Wild Force was good for me. I mean, I can't think of a fifth one. So there you go. Um, Green Hour Hunter. Hey Andrew, a couple questions. Do you think that Bruce Wayne should study medicine and become a doctor like his father? No, I think Batman's too consumed with being Batman that he would be a doctor. I'm sure he's proficient with medicine knowledge or knowledge of healing, but I don't think he needs to be a doctor. He's too busy being Batman. Second, should Zordon get resurrected for Legendary War episodes in Power Rangers Super Megaforce? No, I kind of like the idea of Zordon being dead. I know that sounds very macabre, but I think it's poignant to actually see characters stay dead. Kendricks died and came back, and it was kind of weird because it made no sense. Third, what are your thoughts on the trailer for the Flash pilot? It looked awesome, and I can't wait to watch it. Killer Croc versus Leatherhead as a battle royale. Forgot my battle royale this week. I'm sorry, guys. Hey, Andrew. Take all the time you need between making videos. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I have one question. Do you think Birds of Prey or other titles will be rebooted like the new series of Teen Titans and Suicide Squad? It'd be nice because, like I said, I really do like Birds of Prey, but I think Birds of Prey and other titles are getting canceled because they're not making much money. Teen Titans and Suicide Squad probably make enough money that they can get relaunched. And last question, Dinky Boy 03. I'm looking to start a Teen Titans series in trades. Start reading Teen Titans series in trades. I'm not sure to read either the Jeff Johns series or the New 52 series. Actually, where you really should start is the George Perez, Marv Wolfman New Teen Titans series, which can be collected in the DC Archive series. So that's really where you want to go. George Perez, Marv Wolfman, New Teen Titans. It will be some of the best comics you've ever read. Period. I mean, these are comics that were the top selling comics in DC, went up against John Byrne's X Men back in the 80s. I mean, they were that popular and they were that good. Pick that. Those are where you want to start. After that, you can do the Jeff Johns stuff, which is okay. I wasn't a huge fan of it. And then you can jump to New 52, but really you want to do the Marv Wolfman, George Brett stuff. And that's all I have for you guys today. Again, sorry for the delay in between each videos, but I mean, life happens. So I'm going to end this video here. This is Andrew saying peace out for now.